Let's start a podcast about our mental health. For no good reason why, let's call it Mind Cake.
Hello everybody, and welcome to a Halloween slice of Mind Cake.
Mind Cake.
With him,
Lee Crompton. And him.
Paul Beeson.
Yes, now, because it's Halloween special, we have come to a very special place.
We have.
The Bell Witch Podcast Caves.
That's right. It's quite dark in here, Lee, isn't
It's
it?
very dark. Very dark. You want to mind your head, especially you don't get your hair tangled in those stalactites, because tights go down. Anyway, as we make our way through the cave in deepest, darkest Yorkshire.
It's a bit damp in here as well, isn't it?
It's a bit moist.
Will you hold me? I'm scared.
No.
Okay.
Oh, hang on, I think there's a door over there. Shall we see whether our guest is ready for this Halloween special?
You do it though.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Cakers, welcome to another slice, where this week we are privileged to be joined by Swailes from the award-winning Bell Witch Project podcast for our Halloween special. Swailes, how are you?
Now then, yes, I'm good. I'm a bit more hoarse than usual because I've got the dreaded half-term cold. Podcaster's nightmare, but I'm here.
Yes, that's normally Paul's normally got this. You've got sniffles, haven't you, Paul?
Yeah, do you know what? I haven't had the sniffles for a long time, actually, touch wood. I've done all right. Maybe it's because I've been quite busy, so maybe when I stop, I'll just collapse.
That's when it hits you. That's when it hits you. Now, before we get into all things witchy, do you have any witch's brew for coughs and colds and whatever? What have you been knocking back? Dare we ask?
Dare you ask? Well, today I've been doing a simmer pot full of like oranges and apples and star anisters and cloves and all that good stuff.
Nice.
And it's boiled all day and made the house smell lovely and help me
lush.
heal. It tastes pretty rank. You put some honey in it, it's a little bit better. But the idea is you just have, like a shot of it every now and again to try and get you through it.
Nice.
But this one is particularly strong. So I was like, bah!
Well, blaming the kids. It's that half-term lurgy.
It is, yeah, suffering. I'm on the PTA, so I've been doing lots of PTA stuff. And
bless you.
I know, I sat down on Friday and then I got ill as soon as my ass touched the sofa. Like, oh.
It's a thankless task on the PTA.
No, the kids thank me, so that's enough.
Oh, well, that's what it's all about. It's all about the kids. It's all about the kids.
So I suppose we'll start with, when did you become interested, in all things, I suppose, witchery, and decide to become a witch?
So these two things are quite different because I've always been interested in it. Because when I was young, I was one of them goths, with the white face and the fangs, and I watched Practical Magic and The Craft and all that. But I was more goth than witch. But I was interested, but not enough to actually do anything. Just look cool and go to gigs with your goth underpants on and all that is fine. And then when I had my first baby, Florence, who is almost 10, I was hanging out with all the crunchy mums, that were baby wearing and breastfeeding and talking about goddesses and yonis. And one of them did a surprise box, which is such a told story now because people ask me this quite often, but it's like, it came through the post and the theme was witch. And in it was like a book on witchcraft and a little cauldron and a few herbs and knickknacks and a little wand and stuff. And I read this book from start to finish and it was just like, this speaks to my soul. This is who I am totally. And it's kind of just grown since then, really. So
Uh-huh.
I should have been a witch years ago, but I just didn't make that connection. And I
Didn't know
obviously
it.
wasn't ready for it. It's
Hmm.
just so sometimes I beat myself up like, oh, why didn't I? But the time wasn't right and the universe delayed me. But I'm here now.
You're here now, and I'm interested because I had listened to the story of how that came about. And I was intrigued by somebody gave you a package with a cauldron in it.
It was a
How big was the
subscription
package?
box. It was quite big, yeah, but it's a mini cauldron, like a little,
Oh, I see. Right. Okay.
not
Right.
like
Not
a big
a
ass
fully
thing,
formed
a
cast
little one.
iron
Yeah, a mini
bucket. Right.
one.
Okay.
And there were all the rage back in the day. Do you remember when you used to sign up and it were like surprises in the post? You don't know what's
Yeah.
in it. It was one of them.
Right. Okay. I imagine you've probably got a cauldron knocking about somewhere, haven't you, Paul?
I don't have a cauldron, actually, no.
No. I do apologise, Swales. I'm contractually obliged every episode to mention Paul's hair, and I haven't seen him for a couple of episodes. And it is, even by your standards, Paul,
I know
I
it's
think
long, isn't
someone's
it?
put a spell on your hair because it's looking very Jonathan Ross today.
It does look very Jonathan Ross, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you very
yeah,
much. Thank you.
yeah. A bit
No,
Rossy.
I don't have a cauldron. No, it's the kind of thing you'd expect me to have, Lee, but I don't. I'm afraid.
Definitely.
Why,
So,
are you a witch?
I'm not. I'm not. I'm definitely much more spiritual than Lee is. Put it that
mm,
way. I do have a quite a big interest in witchcraft, kind of historical witchcraft.
Hmm.
But we'll maybe touch on that a little bit later.
now I know when we spoke off air, Swales, that you said this could be an episode all in itself, but I'm going to ask the question. So if you could give me a pre-seed version of the common, I think we can imagine a few of them, but the common misconceptions when you say to people that you're a witch.
Oh, it's the devil. Do you worship the devil then? Oh, you got a pentacle around your neck, you worship Satan. And I'm like, dude, there
Hmm.
is no Satan. Okay, in witchcraft or even Wicca. That's a church thing. Like you do you, I'll do me. But it's like the audacity to tell me what I believe in. It really,
Hmm.
really grinds my gears. Like I don't do anything evil. I just prance around garden looking at leaves going, that's a nice leaf. I love this tree. Thank you for the berries which you give me. Take them home, like cook them, maybe eat them, maybe give them to a deity. You know what I mean? It's like there is no devil.
So
But
would you say that a witchery is very nature based then? Is it a lot?
abs
What is it about it that's attracted you to it?
it's absolutely nature based. It's combined with paganism. So that's like noticing the earth and the way it turns, and the day and night and the cold and the warmth of the seasons and celebrating them and connecting with them and grounding with them.
Hmm.
I think that's one of the big reasons humanity is such a mess because we're all just so internal all the time. And it's okay to be internal some of the time because everything's a balance, but there's no balance in this world. Everybody's just so angry. Honestly, if we were to just go outside and look at the trees more and get his feet on the grass, like it wouldn't solve all the problems, but it would make humanity like communicate just a little bit better with the
Hmm.
earth and with each other. I honestly do believe that. It's
When you
mad.
say connecting with the earth, whatever, I'm interested to say about is it called, I only found out the other day about grounding.
Yeah, when you touch the earth, it naturally takes all the electric out your body, like the static that's not meant to be there. I
Hmm.
mean, we do generate our own electric, but in this place we live on Earth right now, with all this stuff around us, all this energy and computers and lights and phones in our hand, our body gets swollen, because of all the constant energy that's moving around us. It's not meant to be there. So if we all just went out and just touched grass, it doesn't take long, 5 minutes. You discharge it and it helps everything heal a bit better. There is
Wow.
science behind this. I mean, I'm not brainy enough for all that, but
Mhm.
I think there's something in that. And like you say, connecting with nature and bringing it back to mental health.
Mhm.
I think, like you say, getting out, just breathing the air and being surrounded by nature. And I think we should definitely look into that, Paul, doing a bit of grounding. I think it's got to be good for your mental health because, like you say, it does just reconnect you with Mother Nature, I guess, without sounding too wanky about it, but
Yeah,
no,
but
but
it,
you don't, but your lives, you know, your life is full of, like you say, computers and tech
Yeah.
mhm.
and what have you. And sometimes I think you just need to remember that, you know, like you say, there's a higher force at work here.
Yeah. And actually, it's good to do a bit of grounding because it actually just stops you for 5, 10 minutes. Like, you know, it just gives you a bit of grounding. But, you know, it just stops you rushing about. It makes you
Mm.
Yeah.
stop. It makes you breathe. It makes you just collect your thoughts, feel better. Yeah. There's absolutely more people should do it. The vibes would be better for sure.
It's never a waste of time. I think in the capitalist society, we're all taught to use our time wisely and have things to show for our money and the hustle. And, it's never a waste of time just to go for a pointless walk with no music in the woods or a park, look at some ducks, you know what I mean? It will make you feel better, I can promise you. Just for a slight moment, it will. And if you did it every day, it'll make you feel
Mhm.
better and better. But we're all just sold this bloody nonsense, which I absolutely hate. And I talk about it all the time on mine about like capitalism tells you got to do this, you got to buy that, and you got to be rich and do whatever you want and have the family and have it all. It's like you don't really have to have it all, you know. The bee episode I was listening to just today, actually, how she was saying you decide how you respond to things, like you decide if you're triggered or not. And again, that ties nicely with witchcraft because that has enabled me to behave that way because witchcraft keeps me grounded and it holds me accountable for my own impact on others and also myself, like a
Mm.
big deal myself, you know?
Yeah, that is one thing that stuck with me talking to Charlotte was, like you say, it's not always easy to do, but you're in control of how you react to whatever.
Mhm.
That leads on to a question that you've answered most of the question already, but I was going to say, I've heard you say that it's not a religion, but a practice. And I
Mhm.
just wondered what is, other than what we've just talked about, what is being a witch in the 21st century? And you think because of everything that's going on in the world, that it's actually becoming more and more popular?
Yeah, I would say it's not a religion. And some people do class it as a religion, and I think that's more deity driven and more like your ancestors and stuff. Whereas I am not too into that. I am very much about the here and the now and who I am and what I can control and what I can help and benefit. But it's not a religion,
Yeah.
it's a relationship with the moment and my beliefs. And it is getting more popular. It's been getting more popular for quite some time now, and a lot of that is to do with the internet and social media and Insta witches, and then TikTok give it a boom as well when all the baby witches text the moon. I mean, that was nonsense, but it gave it a platform, and people were just like, "What? You can actually do that?" I mean, the moon were there going like, "Shut up! You don't know what you're talking about." I just did his little spring, and it said like, "Boing." That was the hex because the moon is massive. But yeah, I think there's an awareness of pagan, not even witch, but pagan living, like recycling, single-use plastics, gardening, growing your own food, trying to be less impactful, trying to fly less, buy free range. All these things are is paganism. Paganism and witchcraft are really tight knit. It's like witchcraft is the spirituality of a pagan. But yeah, everybody who has an allotment, who sorts recycling, who puts glass in the recycling, all that is pagan. You are a pagan if you do that.
The pentacle, again, I suppose, is people assume it's something to do with the devil, when actual fact that's from paganism, isn't it?
No, that's Satanism. That's their emblem. They took the pentacle and they just turned it around so it resembles a ram. Now, even in Satanism, they don't believe in the devil. It's again, it's like a lifestyle of living, but they're very self-serving and like the ego driven, like they're important as everybody else and they feel they can say what they want.
Mm.
And I research Satanism often because I do quite like it. I mean, it goes hand in hand with witchcraft. It's kind of like the devil's their poster boy kind of thing, it's
Hmm.
like it's almost like a bit of a tongue-in-cheek thing with the church. So that's another thing they probably have to deal with and go like, oh, but we brought it on ourselves.
So what is that you've got around your neck then?
This is my pentacle.
Right.
And it's a five-pointed star, and each point represents an element. So like earth, air, fire, water, and the top point is spirit, like yourself,
Yeah.
your soul. And I love this symbol. I have it on me. I've got it tattooed on me, and I wear this every day. And when I take it off, I feel weird about it. It really does protect me, and it's such a positive thing in my life. Like, I absolutely
Mhm.
adore it. But again, I go to places and people go, "Oh, you're wearing the devil," and I'm just like, "Shush, let me have this moment."
I thought it was to do with paganism. It's not.
Yeah, well, it is to a certain extent, I guess, because it's you work with the elements, don't you, in paganism? It's
Mhm.
just a representative of those elements. Because witchcraft is a massive umbrella of lots and lots of different religions and spiritualities that go underneath the umbrella of witchcraft. So it's massive, really. So a lot of them use it, and that's fine. We don't mind. It's not like appropriation. It's like it's there to be used.
Mhm.
If you're talking about protective and spirituality and the earth, then absolutely use it. But if you're gonna be saying it's a devil thing, don't use it.
Am I right in saying that you do use spells at times?
Yeah, yeah, I use spells mostly for myself. I don't do as much as I used to do because I'm a lot more content with my life. In the beginning, when you start learning, you're like, oh, I'll do a spell for this and I'll do a spell for that and I'll change my life. And then everything comes with an impact. There's karma. I don't believe in threefold, but I believe you absolutely have energy and you bend the energy and manipulate it and it'll come back to you
Mhm.
because you've moved it around. And we never run out, it just gets shifted around. And that's a spell, really. You're shifting energies to try and benefit you or other people in some way. And it's not good or bad, it's just is. And it is us, the human, that make it good or bad. It doesn't have an agenda, it doesn't have a bias, it just does what it's asked to do if
Mhm.
it's done in the correct manner. So yeah, I do sigils quite a lot. I don't know if you know what a sigil
I
is.
don't know what a sigil is. No.
It's like a custom rune, basically. So people tend to come to me and say, I need a sigil for this thing, and they'll give me a sentence of what we want it to do. And from that sentence, I'll create a really beautiful, fluid, kind of like a logo, like a sigil logo, and it's custom to them. And then it's so weird how it happens. It's like I know when it's done it. I don't know how. It just one day I do it and it's like, that's it. That's what I'm looking for. And I'll either put it in a jar or send it in an envelope, and then they can do what they want with it. They can bury it in the ground or stick it on a pin board or put it in the wallet, and that'll work for them as long as they need it to. And that's my most successful magic, I believe. I
Okay.
have good outcomes with sigils.
Can you give us an example of what kind of thing people ask for sigils of?
Yeah, there's selling houses. I get that a lot.
Okay, right.
I've had two selling houses and a perfect birth. I've had that. Protection from somebody giving them evils, like a shield spell.
Mhm,
Exams, I get that a lot. Can I help me pass my exams?
mhm.
What
And
about if you're
yeah,
about to go for a big haircut? Could you do one for that?
I think they're a bit dear for stuff like that. I mean, it's about £40 for a sigil,
Mm.
so for
Mhm.
an
That's
haircut.
that's a sigil you'd never get, though, isn't it, Lee?
I wouldn't need. I mean, I've just saved myself 40 quid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking more for you, Paul.
Bless his
Uh,
hair.
I don't need a sigil, right? I'm growing it longer.
Is
I
that
think
for a
it's
part,
great.
or are you just?
Thank you, Swales. At least somebody appreciates how stylish I am.
I was going to say, right, that has reminded me, it wasn't about your hair. What are rune stones then? Are they like tarot but in a different form?
I suppose they could be seen like that. They're a lot more older than tarot. They've been going around for millennia. The very first runes were actually alphabet, and it's how people used to talk to each other. And
Right.
then, of course, it got inscripted on swords and stuff. And then throughout history, we learn more and more. And of course, you can't help but romanticize it. Some stuff might have been spiritual, and some stuff might have been like, "Hey, up, George, you coming for a pint?" It is that. It is. It's like graffiti. It could have
Uh-huh.
been anything. But
Ah.
I've got a sword here that I won at Witchfest, and it's quite a famous replica of a sword of one that was found in the Thames in London. Is it the Bergamoth sword? I don't know if you know about it. And it's got runes written up it on the side, like the original's got script. And apparently the script was thought to be magical until relatively recently in the vast history, it found it was just like A, B, C. So it
All
is
right.
just somebody practicing on a sword, like a sword maker, just practicing the runes on it, So it's like,
wow. Yeah.
you can see, can't you, why us woo-woo a lot are like, no, it's a spell, it's a
Yeah.
spell.
That's still quite fascinating, though. Just rather than practicing like in the mud with a stick or whatever, like they're
Yeah.
just trying it on a sword. I mean, that's pretty cool in itself.
That's why they're all straight, because people were carving them, like
Mhm.
there's no roundness in runes. It is all
Yeah,
Great line.
because I sort of
minions.
associate runes with Vikings for some reason. I don't know why, but that's the kind of vibe I get. Is that
Yeah,
a thing? I don't know.
yeah, like Anglo-Saxons and all that time. Yeah, no, you're on the right roads. I'm not an expert. I mean, the history is massive,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely massive, and I know like a tiny little teardrop in the ocean about it all. But I do have a guest on my podcast that spoke about that.
Ah,
Yeah.
giving your podcast a little plug.
Yeah, the Bell Witch podcast. Not project. Everybody says, like, oh, the Bell Witch project. And it's like, no, it's the podcast, but everybody does it. It's fine.
I did it at the beginning, didn't
You
I?
did, yeah. But
Sorry.
I didn't want to be that asshole that goes,
No, you should have said. You should have said, like,
But
start
right.
again, Lee. You absolute idiot.
It'll be right. And then everybody always thinks it's about the Bell Witch, like the haunting in
Yeah.
America. I
Uh-huh.
didn't know about that until afterwards, when all these
Yeah.
American people were messaging me going like, oh, do you know about the Bell Witch? Like in Tennessee. And I was a bit like, what? No.
Mm.
Yeah.
Good.
Was the Bell Witch inspiration for the Blair Witch movie?
A little
Was that-
bit. Yeah. That's my millennial route. A little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I watched that in Canada when it first came out.
Proper scary. It scared me.
Yeah, I still watch it fairly regularly. I think it's a brilliant movie.
The problem was in the States it had all been, everyone was told that it was real.
Yeah.
Well, it was the way they marketed it. It was
Yeah.
genius, guerrilla marketing. They put a website. So in the early days of the internet, you went to the Blair Witch website, and it was like it was just full of history, like lore, which is kind of touched on in the movie. But it was the first kind of big mockumentary, really. Well,
Yeah.
horror
It was.
mockumentary, like things like Spinal Tap and that had done it before, but this was the first one that
The horror.
did that sort of found footage, but made it all like it was real. I mean, I thought it was real when I first heard about it.
Same. Yeah.
Well,
You know.
I was skeptical, but then we went into a bookshop, and there was books on it, and again the books were sold as we've had to do this book. It was transcripts of interviews. They'd had special permission from the parents of the kids
Mm-hmm.
to and you go, oh no, this is real then, because this is like proper interviews with the parents of the kids who went missing, the marketing was, you're going back.
There's on the DVD there is another mockumentary on the special features, and it's a documentary about all the stuff that has led to the kids disappearing in the woods, but it's done like a proper sort of
Right.
HBO documentary.
Mhm.
Like the guy who had his little cabin, where the house they end up in, it's got all the kids' handprints on the walls and stuff. So it shows you footage of his murder trial from the
really?
50s or the 60s or whatever. Yeah, it's so well done. Like all the history is just done like it's all legit. So I mean, they really nailed it, man. They really did.
Mm-hmm.
And then they did that terrible sequel.
I like that.
The
I just really like it because he had a goth in it, what I mean?
yeah, what was it, Book of Shadows or something? It was called, wasn't it?
Jeez.
Yeah.
I think I've ever seen it.
Yeah. Well,
rotten?
It's okay. It's okay.
While we're on the subject of films, do we have, and it's Halloween,
Oh,
do we have any favorite horror films?
yes. It's not The Conjuring. That is wank. That film, right? I just don't get it. Like, as a witch, I do not approve. Anyway, moving
Hmm.
on.
Okay.
I love Hellraisers, me.
Do
Proper
you?
hardcore. They are right scary.
Hmm.
And Texas Chainsaw Massacre is so frightening. And
I've
that's
never seen
the
it.
the
The
music in
original.
it. Yeah. Oh yeah, I
Hmm.
only do originals. I don't like remakes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And the thing, oh my God, how scary is that?
Thing, yeah, I've seen that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love horrors, me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I do. I do as well. It's becoming a tradition in our house. We watch Ghost Watch every Halloween. The thing about Michael Parkinson that was on the BBC and scared the shit out of an entire generation of kids.
I
It's
was too
brilliant.
young for that, but I've heard of it and I know it's got
Yeah.
quite like
So
a cult following, hasn't it?
yeah, honestly, again, actually predates Blair Witch with the sort
Mm.
of pretending everything was like a proper paranormal investigation. I watched it. So when did it come out? It was like 90 or 91. So I would have been 10 or 11. And I had to turn it off before it ended because I was fucking
I
terrified.
bet you were.
And I recorded it as well. Like I recorded it on the video. So I did go back and sort of watch it. And I had it for years on a VHS when I was a kid. And then now you can get it on DVD. But it's just a great piece of storytelling dressed up as a real event. And it's so well done. Yeah, so that's still gives me the willies, that one.
The Willies. I
The
were only
willies.
6, so I probably shouldn't have been watching it.
Yeah, but honestly, there was like an entire sort of demographic of people my age who were just couldn't fucking sleep for weeks because it just really, really scared everybody, man.
Hmm.
I love being scared though, like scared of a horror film. When you go see a horror film in the cinema, that is the best because everybody gets scared and influences each other. So many a
Mhm.
time I see something in the cinema and it's like, whoa, it's really good. And I watch it at home and I'm like, what? This is crap.
Bit
Yeah,
crap.
it's the
Obviously,
energy of
because,
everybody, though, isn't it? It's like the
yeah.
tension. There's so much more tension if you're watching it with a group of people, for sure.
Yeah, I
I
was like
don't.
that with Insidious. Like I watched Insidious in
Oh yeah.
cinema
Mhm.
with all my uni pals of the time, and we were all shitting ourselves. And then I got it at home, and it was just like, "This is terrible. Come on now."
I remember going to the cinema to see Scream when it first came out of the cinema,
Mhm.
Slashers are boring. They're all the same.
and I was absolutely terrified
Of
um,
Scream.
of Scream. Yeah.
Just don't answer the phone. You'll be right.
Just I don't.
Fine.
I generally have it on silent anyway, so it's absolutely fine. But it was only like years later when it was on the telly, and I said to my dad, I said, "You're gonna have to watch this." I said because it is. Like, I just remember he laughed all the way through it and said, "This isn't scary at all," and kept pointing out how highly incompetent the baddie was. What's he
You were
called?
only young, weren't you?
Mhm.
You
There
know
was
what you
two
were doing.
baddies in that film, wasn't there?
There was two
Spoiler.
baddies. Yeah,
There
spoiler
was
Yeah.
two
alert, two
baddies.
baddies. Um, but yeah, when you watch it back, you go, yeah, he's pretty useless because he keeps getting like hit in the face with a saucepan and like
So
um,
silly.
he's not really very. He's a bit clumsy,
Hmm.
and
Well, they're
then
remaking it, aren't they? There's a new one coming out.
oh,
Like,
probably
They
there's a
there's
new
did.
like six or seven
Scream,
of them
yeah.
anyway.
They did, but it's like this one's not going to be good because nobody answers the phone anymore, like you
Don't want
say.
to answer the phone. The phone.
Just
No,
Yeah.
I'm not answering that.
no. Okay, so having spoken about films, mine's The Shining, by the way.
Oh yeah, we never asked you.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's fine. Well, the question I was going to ask you was, what can we do to be a bit more witchy in our ways? Now, I know you mentioned about recycling and just, doing the earthy good stuff. But I, however, before I start writing, I've got into lighting my sage stick
Uh-huh.
and wafting it about.
Hmm.
Now, I don't know what that's supposed to do. I just quite like there's something very ceremonial about it, and before I start writing, I like doing that. So what is that supposed to do? And are there any other ways we could improve our mental health by being a bit more witchy?
Yeah, so that's a ritual right there that you're doing, Lee.
Hmm.
And the whole existence of mankind has been doing rituals since the dawn of time, getting together and celebrating the sun and the moon via ritual. And ritual, for me personally, is about, again, being grounded in the moment and almost like signposting the time, what we're doing right now, being mindful. And so for me, I think it's like talking to whoever's listening, I want to do this thing. This is what I desire. I am going to do a habit every time, and I want a certain outcome by doing this ritual. So, like, I think the runners do it and stuff where they have a ritual about certain socks and stuff. Like, it is the same thing. And
Lucky pants or whatever.
yeah,
Oh,
all that is magic. I mean, when you get
talking about
into
his pants.
witchcraft, when you get into witchcraft, everything is magic because you just become so in awe of everything we have and how lucky we are to be here and do the things we do and have the freedom to live and all that jazz. And there is hardships, of course there is, but it is again looking at the positivity.
Mm.
And you're probably doing a lot of it already, like happy birthday, blowing a candle out. That is candle magic, making a wish, because you're placing like an intent and you're doing an action to signify the intent in wish for an outcome. So then three things, that is a spell, that is a ritual. And we do it so often. Touch wood, knock on wood, touch wood. That's magic, that's a ritual. Stirring your tea a certain way, walking a certain way in a certain direction because it feels right. I think that is magic.
We are creatures of habit, aren't we? And what is there anything that you do on a daily basis, Swales, that you would say that you know, whether it's witchy or whether it's just a certain sort of thing that you do?
I have a massively large dialogue with myself.
Okay.
So I mean, I've always spoke to myself in my head anyway, but witchcraft has enabled me to speak more positively in my head and out loud. So and it sounds a bit like woo when you say it out loud, but like I'll wake up and I'll be like, morning swales, you're alive, you lucky thing, Oh, I'll have a nice cup of tea and I'm going to stir this tea, telling it I'm going to have a lovely day today. I'm just going to take the moment to appreciate this tea, feel it warming up my body. And I really do live my life like this. And I always have, but it's used to be so much more negative. It used to be like, beating yourself up because you were never good enough or you've made that failure or you didn't get that goal and we all do that, especially in the 21st century, unwitchy people living regular lives in the rat race. How negative do we speak to
Yeah.
ourselves and
Mm.
also each other, like road rage and stuff?
Hmm.
All that does, impacts you. It impacts your spirituality, it impacts your soul and the vibe and everything. Like it is massive. So, so yeah, talk to yourself kindly. Talk to yourself how you talk to your mum that you love,
Hmm.
who brought you in this world,
Hmm.
and it's made a massive difference. And weirdly enough, I would say a mixture of podcasting and witchcraft has made me really appreciate my voice, like my freedom of speech, how I sound, my accent. Sometimes I get muddled up and I'm all right. Whereas before I'd be like, oh, I can never think on my feet and blah, blah, blah.
Bit yourself up about it, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
When you edit yourself, you'll know, you hear yourself, you hear your mannerisms and how you talk and
Mhm.
how you fill in the gaps. I don't fill in gaps anymore because I'm a podcaster,
Hmm.
because the gaps are beneficial. The gaps allow the magic to kind of move around freely.
Hmm. Hmm. No, it is like I say, if you were to say to someone, I guess that, oh, well, talking to yourself in a positive way, and you think, well, that's a bit out there. But if you think about it, like you say, the negative effects of talking to yourself, whether it's out loud or whether it's in your head, I'm not good enough. Why did you do that? Oh, you're
Yeah.
stupid, which is how a lot of people talk to themselves.
Yeah.
The impact of that is massive. So why wouldn't it be conversely, if you're actually nice to yourself and talk to yourself and care about yourself and learn to love yourself, then why would that not be as positive in the opposite direction. I mean, although it sounds, at first hand a bit woo-woo, it makes complete sense.
But I mean, why are we taught to think like that, when we're young? That don't be so full of yourself, like you're so egocentric, don't be so selfish. If you speak about yourself proudly, it's common response to be like, who do you think she is? And we shouldn't be that way. We shouldn't. And I'm trying to dismantle it myself even now.
Hmm.
Every so often it slips in and I go, no, no, behave yourself. Now, why are you thinking like that? Because capitalism and all that rubbish. Make a stand and actually reframe it and be like, good on her. I want to see her succeed. Let me
Hmm.
shout you out. Let me talk about other witch podcasts in the world that are doing amazing stuff. I want to be like them. They inspire me, but also I want them to succeed. I want to see people succeed. And that alone, without any of the other stuff I'm into, has massively, massively improved my life.
But I think going back, I suppose culturally, it's not a very British thing to do, is it?
No,
To
yeah,
big
yeah.
yourself up and go, I feel good today, and I'm going to be positive, and that's it. I think it's in our. I don't know whether it's in our psyche or in our nature, especially being British, that's always kind of frowned on a bit.
It's our
It's,
societal norm, though, isn't it?
Mm.
yeah.
There would have been a point before that where we actually were a bit more tuned in with what's going on, and it's probably Victorian times. Everything became a bit more uptight, and
Capitalist.
It is. Yeah. It's always capitalism. I absolutely hate it. And it's like witchcraft bingo for me on my bloody podcast. Like, how many times could you say capitalism and jogging and nature?
mhm.
Did you go on to Paul before you go on the stage, darling,
Mm.
or doing any acting work? Do you have any rituals?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose I will come up with different rituals depending on what is expected of me and what I'm doing. So, for example, I'm touring a kids show at the moment. So before me and my partner go on stage, I mean, we just basically have a giggle, and then we go to our opposite sides in the wings before we come on, and the music from the show is playing as the audience are coming in and stuff, and I'll just be like bopping about. That's just getting psyched up for it. I did a play about 18 months ago where I was an SS, a Gestapo police, a member of the Gestapo in this World War II drama thing I was doing. So I'm not going to bop around in the wings before that because the vibe has to be different. So before that, I just sat very still backstage, good posture, and just breathed because that's what my character needed. That was the energy I needed before I went on. So yeah, but then I did that before every single performance of that play.
Hmm.
So it does become a ritual.
Yeah.
And then you do it the first time, and then you get the first performance under your belt, and you go, "Oh, I did all right there. I've got to keep doing that ritual now." I mean, it's obviously helped, but it's a bit like sport. I used to play football when I was a teenager. It was the same thing. It was like I did have a pair of lucky pants that I wore every Saturday for a
I
football
knew he
game.
was going to mention his fucking pants.
Yeah,
I love it.
but it is because I put them on one day, and then we won, and I scored a couple of goals. I was like, "Well, I can't." Obviously, they would be washed. They weren't like dirty. I didn't like go the whole season without washing my knickers, but
He did.
yeah, but it is. It's just it is a thing. And then when that play or whatever ends, and I go into the next thing, there is another ritual that. But I will yet to discover what that is. So it's quite an interesting thing though, because you're always finding new ways to center yourself and get in the zone or whatever, however you want to frame it.
Interesting there that you didn't mention the name of the children's thing that you're doing at the moment. Is that because you feel that you'd be cheating? Presumably, it's not Shark in the Park because
It's not.
any opportunity you've got to mention Shark in the Park, again, contractually obliged to do so. So it makes me assume it's not Shark in the Park, and the fact that you've not mentioned its name, does that because you feel that you'd be cheating on Shark in the Park, or why have you
No,
not
not
mentioned
at
the
all.
name of it, Paul?
I'll mention it now. It's called You Choose. It's also based on
Oh.
another Nick Sharratt book who wrote Shark
Hmm.
in the Park. So
Hmm.
it's in the same wheelhouse.
I think we've got the book.
Yeah, you
Mm.
probably did. In fact, did you not bring the girls to see it?
we did bring the girl. I think I nodded off halfway through, but I
Yeah,
think they quite liked it. No, I
yeah.
didn't. It was very good,
A
Paul.
bit too cerebral for you, was it?
It was a bit too highbrow for me. I couldn't keep up with the narrative. But but the girls liked it.
Good, good.
Okay, so you're doing that at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. So finish at the weekend, then I've got a couple of weeks off, and then into Panto.
And who are you playing in Panto?
I'm the Tin Man in a Scottish Panto version of The Wizard of Oz.
Hey, that's right. Cool. That I like that.
Yeah, the Brunton Theatre Panto this year. I will be donning my funnel, my funnel hat.
So it's just full of innuendo, aren't you?
Yeah, innuendo.
Dearie me.
Innuendo.
Innuendo.
So
Okay.
I will report back in about a month's time. I can talk you through my Tin Man ritual. How about that?
I'm yeah, I can sense it coming on already about how you're oiling your cogs and doing whatever you're going to be doing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Tightening my nuts and all that. Yeah.
yeah. So, Swailes, tell us about your podcast and
Oh, I love it. I love it.
how all that came about. Because obviously we've all got I suppose I was using the J word, a journey of how it kind of came about. But how I mean it's massive now. Like you say, you're award-winning podcasters. How did the Bell Witch podcast
Yep.
come about?
So I love podcasts, and I got into them really quickly, and I listen to them all the time. You know, all the usual uncanny and all that. And my
Oh,
one of
I
my
love Uncanny.
oh, it's so good. I love
Yeah.
Danny. And one of my well, not my friends, but the last I knew in a community I was in, which was a tarot card community, we're doing a really fun one called Single Fat and 40, and it were absolutely hilarious. And I used to go to the gym and listen to it on treadmill and just like laugh out loud at treadmill, and everybody be looking at me like, "What the fuck? What's she on? I love what she's on," sort of thing. And then it just abruptly stopped. So I were in her inbox going like, "Why have you stopped? What is this? No, come back." And she was like, "I can't. My life's just chaos. I'm not doing it anymore. You should totally do it yourself if you're that bothered." And at the time, I was doing The Artist's Way. I don't know if you know about The Artist's Way.
No.
It's amazing. It's a really old book from the early 90s, and it's like 12 steps to unblock you as an artist, as a creator. So when you're in a rut and you don't know what to do with your life, you do the artist's way. And it is hard. It is known for being hard because it wants a lot from you. I don't know if you've heard of morning pages. That's famously from the artist's way, where every morning you wake up and you write 3 pages of just whatever you're thinking of, anything, everything, like your mind. Even if you can't think of anything, you go, "I don't know what to write, I don't know what to write." But by the end of your 3rd page, you will have absolutely written, you know, what's bugging you, what's trapped. And just doing that alone will change your life. So I was about 3/4 of the way through the artist's way with the tarot card community called the cult mother, it's called. Um, and I thought to myself, actually, I should totally do a podcast. Why am I not doing a podcast? Absolutely. And then it were like, bloody hell, I've no idea what I'm doing. I've never done anything like this. I've never been on radio. I've never produced or edited or anything. Like I'm like a journal person. I just write stuff and draw and paint and garden and that. So I was a bit like, bloody hell, I've no idea. And I had a friend at the time who was a witch, and we used to hang out quite a lot and just drink tea and whinge about the world and how witchcraft should be more popular. And so I invited my friend to come and speak to me on Zoom like this to try and create a podcast. I had no idea. And in the beginning, it took me probably 10 hours to get an episode, a 30-minute episode, because I was just learning on the job. By probably episode 6, it became really apparent that she was losing interest because she wasn't turning up. She wasn't really bothered. It wasn't really a thing. We were running out of things to talk about. And so I was forced to do 2 or 3 on my own, which was like the hardest learning curve ever. But after I'd done it and I'd edited it and I'd put it on Spotify, I had this amazing feeling like, oh my God, I did that. And it's not too bad. I mean, it's not great now, you know, it's terrible now. But at the time I was like, I'm really proud of this. And then she officially left at episode 10. And then after that, I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to like read up on it. I'm going to do courses. I'm going to learn tricks of the trade and hang out with podcasters. And that was the amazing moment when it just, I realized it's who I am and it gave me so much. And I could hear myself talk. And actually, I sound all right. And actually, I do know stuff. And so the confidence were growing. And as this was happening, my witchcraft practice was also growing. So the two things just went together like fantastically. And podcasting has absolutely changed my life, like my confidence, the people I know, the people I meet who become my friends, experiences and opportunities are just abundant. And I absolutely love it. It's like my third baby after my two kids. I'm absolutely obsessed. And I'm Yorkshire. So I'm like, hey up. I'm Yorkshire. I've got a podcast. Do you want to come listen to my podcast? Do you want to be my guest? And they're like, whoa, calm yourself. And I'm like, dude, honestly, I love it. Yeah.
But no, you're
And
absolutely right. It's a labour of love,
it
and
is.
you've obviously done very well because, like you say, you've now won an award.
I've won three.
So
Two are kind of the same. Two are
I
kind of the
beg your
same.
pardon.
But
3 awards, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, the Hub Hopper one, I was very proud of because I've no idea who they are. They're like in America somewhere, you know. I think
Right.
they were a big deal, whereas the other ones were kind of like my buddies, you know, who I won with. I was a bit like, pagans of the north and my
Right.
buddies.
Okay. Uh-huh.
But Hub Hopper Awards, it's like they don't know who I am. They don't care who I am, but they've listened
Mm.
to me and they like me. So that was
Wow.
a very nice thing to receive.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I attempted the Independent Podcast Awards a couple of weeks ago, and that was a fantastic evening hanging out with my podcast pals I've met online, you know, like in person, all the weird stuff, the ghost hunting and the folklore stuff. And I didn't win, but I got drunk with one of the judges afterwards.
Mhm.
And he was saying, you were third. You were third. If you'd have
Oh,
entered a
wow.
different one, you'd have won. But because you did lifestyle and that's really chocker, you came third. You should be really proud. I was
Wow.
like, yeah.
Do you know who's going to love this chat?
Oh,
Cousin Carrie.
Carrie.
Yeah.
So you both said it together. My cousin Carrie is she loves all this shit, doesn't she?
nice.
And do you know what? I've got news, Paul.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I'm allowed. I'll say it and then I'll check whether I'm allowed to mention it.
And then
She
cut it
messaged
out.
me the other day. She messaged me the other day to say, did I want to come because she's near Stoke. Did I want to come down to Birmingham because she's hosting a ghost
Oh,
event
oh,
in a pub in Birmingham.
Oh, like like an investigation, like we stay overnight.
I
kind of thing.
believe so, yes.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, she went to this. She was telling us, wasn't she, that she'd gone to this fair, which I think was like at the I don't know if it was the NEC, but somewhere in Birmingham, where she'd gone and bought all these things where you could, use for ghost busting, and she does all
Yeah.
this,
EMF.
yeah, ectoplasm and all that. I mean, I don't know what she was.
ectoplasm.
Yeah,
Like that Slimer.
yeah, exactly. Get all that stuff.
When
And,
when is it happening?
I think it's
Halloween.
middle of no, I think it's the middle of November. Why
Oh,
do you fancy it?
I'll be well up for that as long
Oh,
as
I
it.
thought you
I
would.
start rehearsal on the Monday the 17th. So if it was before that, yeah, I'll be well up for that.
Well, I'll check. I'll forward the message. I don't want to end
ask
up.
them if they need a witch.
Yeah, let's all
We
go,
could all go.
Amazing.
and it's in a pub.
Oh, bonus. Don't mix your spirits though. Spirits are
Oh.
spirits. Don't go.
Oh,
So,
you'll fit in well, Swailes. You'll fit in well.
Well, I like a bit of table tipping. I've done some of that in the past. That was good fun.
again, she sent me a couple of videos of the table tipping, and you can clearly see that someone is just pushing it with a
No, boo hiss.
You got to trust who's tipping your tables, though, don't you?
You have
Do you
got
know?
to, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I suppose we should wrap up with if we want to improve our mental health by becoming more witchy. How do we go about? How do we go about? If Paul wants to decide he wants to become a witch, where's he start?
I think you've got to really dissect the reasons as to why you're drawn to wanting to do it. There's obviously a need to improve your life, improve your self-worth, improve your mental health. It's not just because you want to get famous on Instagram, doing spells and all that junk. I think you'll know it's for
Mm,
you. And just, I would say journal a lot, have discussions with yourself, pinpoint what it is you want to change, and then do things just because you want to do them.
mm,
Go be with nature. It does sound a little bit cheesy, but that's because capitalism makes it sound that way because they want to unplug us and they want our attention
mm,
because that's where the money's at.
mm,
Ignore all that. Do what you're drawn to do. If you're drawn to putting some salt in a bottle and shaking it and talking to it, then do it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Salt is naturally protective. We're surrounded by salt. It is like one of the biggest things in Earth. Like the world has salt in it, the sea has salt in it. Have a look why you're drawn to a certain herb, a certain element, a certain picture, a certain goddess. There'll be a little reading in there for you. There'll be a little message. And then the more you notice, the more you see. And then it'll be like, there's a reason that magpie has caught my attention. Why is that? So it's kind of like reading tarot cards, but you don't need the cards. You're just reading your life. You're plugging in, you're reading your life. It's not scary. It's not the Matrix. We're not batteries feeding any bloody machines and all like that. It is literally just trusting yourself, valuing yourself, being kind to yourself and others. Read all the books, go to your library, support your library. Don't buy all the shit off Etsy unless you've got loads of money and an empty house because it's a slippery slide. Make
yeah.
yourself a wand. You don't need to buy out this. You can do this free. Honestly, your finger pointing is as powerful, probably even more powerful than a wizard wand. I promise.
Well, talking about capitalism, um, I looked on because I buy stuff on Amazon Prime. Occasionally buy stuff on Amazon Prime because my wife has an Amazon Prime account. And so I was looking for something I'd previously purchased, and having gone onto her account, realized that so far this year, because it tells you if you click on the year how many parcels you've had delivered.
Oh God.
Over 100 parcels this year
No, that's bad. This
from
year.
from this year
Oh
from
gosh.
from Amazon, because capitalism
Yeah,
has you by the conkers.
it does.
And
And it's easy, you
what,
know.
easy to
Well,
escape
that's
or
the
easy to get
problem.
sucked in?
It's easy to use because you don't do
Uh,
what you just press a button and it's there,
mm,
Yeah.
So that we need to also ask ourselves, is it that hard really to go down the high street and try and have a look for what there is? If you don't find it, fair enough. But if you find it, hey,
mhm.
Yeah. Well, poor old Jeff needs the money, doesn't he? So,
exactly. Yeah, that's why high streets are gone and so traders can't exist anymore. There's a lot to unpack, and it is a massive subject.
Mm.
mhm.
And don't feel bad if you shop where you shop. Just instead of just doing it, have a think about what you're doing it and if you can do it somewhere else. Timo will destroy the world. Wish will destroy the world. Don't buy shit from there, okay?
Okay,
Do what you
that's
can.
me told.
Do what
Team.
you can. Yeah, don't just do what you can. It's not all about what's the easiest for us, what's the cheapest for us. We need to look beyond that.
Absolutely. And I think that's probably a decent place to call it a day.
You can tell I can talk about this for England.
Mm.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, I hope there is a backlash. I hope there is a
Yeah,
backlash against it, and people see that
we
actually you
need
can't
to.
keep just
Consuming.
consuming and
We just
consuming and
can't.
consuming and just, yeah,
Yeah.
there has to come a point where people go, hang on a minute, what are we what are we doing? And I think the thing with Elon Musk as well, for all his, it's up to him, it's his money, he can decide what he wants to do with it, but it does kind of, the billions of dollars that he's spending to try and colonize Mars, and you go,
What?
why don't you actually spend that money? And we've got a planet here
Yeah,
that's
look
got all the
after
things
it.
that we need. Why don't
Totally.
we spend that money fixing this planet, which is perfect, rather than trying to
Yeah,
colonize another one that
Yeah.
is inhabitable?
yeah. Him,
Because if
him and
we,
his pals could solve a lot of problems if they just were a bit more philanthropic, if that's the word.
hmm yeah,
Not saying we all deserve handouts or whatever, but they could literally solve so many of the world's problems if they just gave a smidge of what they're worth, you know?
hmm
Totally. Yeah.
but like I
Yeah.
say, hopefully there will be a backlash
Bleak.
because a few more people wake up from the Matrix maybe, and
Yeah,
the world would be a better place. We all need to take our shoes and socks off
Hmm.
and have a wander
on the grass, touch the
on,
earth.
yeah, not on the concrete, that
No,
on the
Get
grass.
them toes on that grass.
Hmm.
yes.
Okay, so that was Swales, and I have to say that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that chat.
I thought you would. Yes, there's a lot to unpack.
Hmm.
As I was re-listening to the episode,
Yeah.
I wrote a load of notes, and then I got so excited about my open fire that I must have chucked them in. So I do apologize, but I don't have my notes. But
It's almost like you've cast a little spell. You put your notes in the fire and
mhm,
they've now gone into the atmosphere.
yes, I didn't do my grounding.
Oh, yeah, you said you were going to try and do that today, didn't you?
I am gonna do that.
Hmm.
I will post something at some stage in the very near future because I don't want that to be another thing that we said we were going to do and we never did.
Yeah. Do you know, I'm going to do that on Monday when I get home from tour on Sunday. I'm going to go down to the beach, down at the water, and I'm going to ground myself on the banks of the River Forth.
That's not a euphemism.
No, I'm literally going to go and do it
Okay.
before it gets too cold. You know, I don't like the cold.
You don't like the cold? No, no.
I would do some grounding right now, but I'm in a travel lodge at a service station in Milton Keynes.
That is the high life right there,
Um,
folks. The high life of an actor.
it is. It's not even in Milton Keynes. We're at a service station just outside Milton Keynes.
Oh, actor's life.
In it, yeah, it's not all glamorous. It's not like the Hollywood and stuff where I am.
Well, listen, if
Mhm.
nothing else, next week you will be able to play with your funnel when you're dressing up as the Tin Man. So there's highs and lows, isn't there?
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I've got my costume fit in next week, so that'll be exciting.
There you go. So I
Yeah.
should mention that I don't know whether you listened to the last episode where you weren't sacked with Chris Ingram,
No, I've not got round to it yet, unfortunately.
but Pete Green stepped into the breach
Yeah.
and did a very good job. And as a result, we've had a few new listeners who knew Pete Green from back in the day.
Mm.
One of which is a guy called Tim Spencer. Now, Tim has
Oh
been
yeah.
in touch
Hmm.
and has sent us a lovely email, which, for no other reason, I think I should read out so we can use the email jingle.
Oh, we've not heard that for a while, have
We've
we?
not heard that from a while. And Tim points out, as I read it out, probably why that is.
Emails?
So, hello, chaps.
That's us.
That is us, yeah. As a new subscriber to the podcast, I just wanted to drop you an email, mainly because after listening to the first 25 or so episodes, it seems that the regular emails from Ian McNabb have dried up.
That is true. That has happened. Yeah.
I was led to your podcast by my very good friend, Pete Green, as I trust his excellent taste. The mix of rambling nonsense, brilliant guests, and serious subject matters is great, and I am finding it incredibly comforting.
No.
I've had a few issues myself, and my younger brother recently passed away, so thank you for unintentionally being a comfort blanket.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Tim. But yeah, that's so kind of you to say.
Yeah, he has been through the ringer, and really what we were talking about in the episode there, that yes, if our nonsense that's not too down in the dumps is helps people along the way, then I think that's only can only be a good thing.
Yeah.
He goes on to say, I've listened to the menopause episodes with Charlotte, Gail, and Jen, so I hope I don't say anything triggering, but I hope that you and everyone involved in the podcast are keeping well physically, emotionally, and mentally. You are good people. Lots of love, Tim Spencer.
Oh, Tim, you legend.
So
What a
he's
lovely email.
then put PS. Oh, and I've left 5-star ratings on both Spotify and Apple Music. So that's what we need more people to do so we
Yes.
can get great guests on.
Be more Tim Spencer, people.
Be more Tim Spencer. Do you know also as well,
Hmm.
I have sent Tim has requested that I send him some cards.
Oh, yeah, the wee business cards.
So he'll be in the northeast of England doing his bit for the cause. So no, we've I would say a super fan.
Wow. Now, for all you other super fans out there, Cousin Carrie, Little
Well,
Malcolm.
it goes on. We've had another email from Tim Spencer.
Oh, right, okay.
This was 8 days ago, 22nd of October. Hello, chaps. That's us again.
Oh, yeah, that's us, yeah.
Just to let you know that I have binged all the episodes on the podcast in the 2 weeks since I started following you. Now,
That
quite
is a lot of
frankly,
nonsense.
I'm not sure that's good for anybody's mental health.
Yeah. When I say that's a lot of nonsense, I don't mean that Tim is lying. I mean that he's just listened to
Yeah.
a lot of nonsense in a
Yeah. I mean,
fortnight.
surely you get to a stage where you just tune out a bit.
Yeah.
I wanted to let you know that it has been massively appreciated. My brother's funeral was yesterday, and it has given me plenty of comfort at what has been a challenging time. Keep up the good work. I hope that everyone involved in the podcast is keeping well emotionally, physically, and mentally. Now get your asses into gear and get Arthur Bostrom. Lots of love, Tim Spencer.
Bostrom.
So I think I did reply to Tim and said Bostrom's going to be difficult again because at this time of year he will have already started the eggnog.
Oh yeah, he'll be mad with it by now.
So yeah, there's been a few messages backwards and forwards to between me and Tim, and he is a top chap, and he's obviously going through the mill at the minute with things that are
Mm.
going on in his life. So I hope you're doing okay, Tim.
Lots of luck, Tim.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was good, and I enjoyed that one.
I wouldn't say that I necessarily wholeheartedly agree with the whole spells and smudge sticks and whatever, but I quite enjoy that sort of thing. And if
Hmm.
nothing else, having spoken to Swailes about all things witchy, I felt great afterwards.
Yeah.
It was just
She's
an
got.
uplifting chat.
Yeah. You know, it's one of those times when you speak to someone who's just a good egg. That's just a lovely person that had great energy. And we had a right giggle doing that one as well. So yeah, I came away from it feeling really uplifted as well. And we need
And
more
then
of
the
that.
travel lodge sapped all your energy back out again.
Yeah, literally it lasted for about 3 minutes, and then I was miserable again. But yeah, do you know? Funnily enough, the day after we recorded that podcast, I went up to a little place called Colne in Lancashire to do a show, which is right next to Pendle, where there was a famous, would you call it a witch hunt or a witch trial? I would say more than a hunt. So there was a famous witch trial in Pendle. And when we were driving to the theatre the morning after speaking to Swailes, we drove through Pendle. And then in the show that day, the character I had to dress up as was a witch.
No.
Yeah. And I had to get on my little broomstick and run about the stage. You know, there's like 8 different characters that we dress up as. And it varies from day to day which one we do. And it happened to be a witch that day. And we were just round the corner from Pendle. And we just had our chat with Swailes. So I think there was witchcraft in the air.
Yes. Going back to Tim, please like and subscribe. It helps us try and beat the algorithms a little bit and get great guests on. If you could help us out with a subscription or a review on Spotify or Apple or wherever you get your podcast in your earlugs,
Yeah.
that would be tremendos.
Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? There's people who are subscribed that haven't left a review, and there's people that just sort of casually drop in and listen and don't leave a review or whatever. So yeah, if you are listening to this, please give us a little review or a little star rating. Thank you
There's
so
all
much.
sorts of things going on as well. You know, we've got 570 subscribers to the newsletter.
That is a lot.
It is a lot. How many people read those emails? I don't know, but we do have. So again, if you haven't subscribed to the newsletter, I shall put it in the show notes where you can subscribe to that, and let's because we're now officially season 5, Paul.
Wow.
This is episode 2 of season 5. We're not going to have to wait 2 weeks for the next one because we have another special new moon / Guy Fawkes night episode with the wonderful Deborah Hyde, who is a skeptic, to give us the other side of the story.
Which we try to do. We try to
for balance. Yeah, it's not all Paul's mates who believe in all the heebie-jeebies. We get other people on as well.
Yeah.
So yes, that's coming up next week. You lucky cakers.
I know. It's the first time I've done a little bookend with you for a little while, isn't it? It's been a while.
It has been a while. Yeah.
It's good to be back.
Yeah, no, it's good to have you back. So until next week, look after yourself, be kind to others, and in the words of Dr. Jan, don't be a dick. Goodbye.
Ta-ra.
Thanks for listening.
Let's start a podcast about our mental health for no good reason why. Let's call it Mind Cake.
First thing you do when you go into a pub and it's got an open fire, you
Warm your
go
ass.
over there and you warm your ass.
Of course you
Is
do.
that a British thing, or does everybody do that?
As long as we've had fire.
As long as we've had fire.
Yeah.
Quote of the podcast.
Yeah.
Well, let's tune in next week when Paul will be doing more on history of fire.
Yeah.
Brilliant.